Hey, Elliot, what are the things I need to know about getting called onto a job site to quote, spec a job? Figure out what size plate they need, what size trenching they need, shoring they need, or what size boom lift, forklift, what do they need for equipment? I get these calls, and oftentimes I don't know exactly what I need to know about specing out a job site. How do I make sure that I have a successful job walk and spec out? Love the question. The first thing I would recommend is make sure you have the right tools. Not only do you need to have your PP&E when you walk the job site, but I would strongly encourage you to either have a measuring laser. You can go pick them up at Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever you go. I had a really nice Hilti laser that I loved. Even came with red glasses so that you could see the laser when it's full sunshine. I believe that you need to have the right tools. If it's a tape measure, whatever it is. The next thing you need to do when you meet the customer on the site, or even if they're not there, start from the beginning. And I know it sounds simple, but where is the piece of equipment getting dropped? And it's everything from where the semis are going to pull up to offload shoring, to where a boom lift would get dropped, or a forklift, or even where somebody would have a mini excavator dropped. When someone says, look, I've got to dig up these utilities, what size excavator do I need? It sounds pretty simple, but I would ask them, where do you plan on the piece of equipment being dropped? The next one is what is the path of the equipment going in? And everyone's like, why would the path matter? Well, I've had guys where they take boom lifts or mini excavators or whatever, and they're driving it across concrete or pavers or whatever it is, pieces of flagstone, and the equipment is so heavy that it cracks or shatters the piece of equipment. I had a sales rep once, and he sat there, he showed up, he looked in this lobby, and he's like, oh yeah, you're gonna definitely need like a 26-foot scissor lift. I'd do a 2632. It's narrow enough to go in these lobby doors. We'll fold down the rails. Guy said, perfect. It's what you recommended. They fold down the rails. They drive it across the lobby, and all of the tiles in the lobby floor shattered, every one of them. Did hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of damage because they had to jackhammer all the tiles out and put in all brand new tiles. The guy was livid. And the sales reps were like, look, that's not my responsibility. It ruined the relationship. You need to sit and you need to walk the job and look at everything, not just where do they need to get, but what are the point load distribution on the floor? How deep are they digging? Are there cross utilities? Have they gone out and spec'd or had somebody come in and site where all the utilities are? Are they driving on grass? Are they driving on dirt? Are they driving on asphalt or concrete? Every one of these plays a factor into when you drop off a piece of equipment at a job site. Your customers are looking to you to be the quintessential expert. I would sit, if you assume that concrete, unless you can actually see the side cut of it, most concrete's 3-4 inches thick, which if you drive an excavator or even a 26-foot scissor across a boom lift, it will shatter or crack the concrete if it's not on the right soil. Causes major damage. The other thing is, ask about wheel jackets that might need to wrap the tires or any of that kind of stuff. If they're driving across the floor, think proactively. If they're calling you out, it's because they're not comfortable with the equipment being on the site. Ask them if they need a diaper underneath it. Ask them if they need wheel jackets over the tires, whatever it is to protect the unit and protect the floor. I've watched a lot of sales reps and they think their job is just to go in and be like, yeah, you could reach that with a scissor lift. And the guy orders up a scissor lift and they don't look at, could it fit through the doorway? I had a church once, went out, I was speccing out the church. The church had a kind of a gradual sloped floor going down. And I show up and the guy says, hey, yeah, we had somebody come out. They looked at it. The guy told me a Z3020N made by Genie. Love the unit. And he said, so we're going to use this. I said, it won't work. Guy's like, why not? He goes, that's what the other guy recommended. I said, it's an amazing unit, but because of the slope of the floor, that Genie unit has sensors in it that it doesn't want to tip. And the second you start driving down and then you go up, it's going to keep your guys safe and it's going to say, don't go. I said, believe it or not, you actually want to go with a different unit, like a JLG. Sorry. And you want one of the ones with outriggers that'll go down so you could make the unit level when it's going up inside the church. Do me a favor. Make sure that you walk the entire job. Make sure you have the right tools to spec out a job. Don't just be the order taker. Be the quintessential expert that walks the job and looks at all the challenges from the beginning to the end. Measure the doorways, everything that's going to be a factor to make sure that we're the experts and they pay us the money because we know what we're doing. I appreciate you watching. Don't just be an order taker.